The Indian auto industry has been through quite a lot in the last 1 year, and today is one of the important days because today is the 63rd annual convention of the Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturers. काफ़ी ज़्यादा discussion होने वाली of everything that has been in the last 1 year, how the growth has been like और future projection growth का कैसा होने वाला है. Also a lot of discussion on alternative fuels, new technologies and how the future for diesel will look like. So all that discussion going to happen today. Quite a few stakeholders and experts sharing their opinion. I'm Shubham Prasar, you're watching Park Plus, and let's get going. As always, various stakeholders from the government and ministries attended the annual conference, including Nitin Gadkari, Minister of Road Transport and Highways. But this time around, focus on future mobility fuels were even more clear thanks to the G20 conference held in India recently, which stressed on adoption of biofuels and other cleaner technologies in a bid to achieve carbon neutrality.
आपको पता है कि अभी G20 में हमने ग्लोबल अलायंस में बायोफ्यूल ग्लोबल अलायंस का जो हमने करार सक्सेस उसकी सैटिस्फैक्टरी की है वो अपने आप में एक हिस्टोरिकल है और पोल्यूशन की बहुत गंभीर समस्या है.
Will biofuels and alternative fuels like CNG have a better scope going forward? That said, diesel will be bearing the brunt due to higher emission, as the minister is planning to propose a 10% pollution cess on diesel passenger vehicles going forward. Let's see what people at the helm have to say. And let's begin with Shashank Srivastav, Executive Director Marketing at India's largest car maker MaRuti Suzuki.
And the minister pointed out today that the diesel is as a fuel is not so great for automobile, and we were out of diesel from 2019 and 2020 beginning.
BS6 diesel engines as it is are more expensive compared to similar capacity and output petrol engines, already leading to a drop in their sales and overall market share.
Yeah, so first of all, let me tell you that the diesel sales has been coming down over the years. In fact, if you look at statistics, 2013-14, the penetration of diesel vehicles in the passenger vehicle industry itself about 53%. Now that had dropped in August of this year to less than 18%. It was 17.7%. Even on a cumulative basis, just around 18%. So there's been a very sharp fall, and there is a reason for it. First and foremost reason is there is no economic logic anymore of buying diesel vehicle. The cost of acquisition of diesel vehicle is quite high compared with the corresponding gasoline, and the running cost difference is not so high because the fuel prices have sort of converged ever since the diesel became a free float pricing, and that is the reason why you see this sudden drop. In fact, if you look at segment wise, diesel percentage in the passenger cars, that is hatches and the sedans, is close to zero. In vans, it is 2.9%. In MPVs, it is 22%. In entry SUVs, it is 15%. So there has been a sharp drop already, thanks to the high increase of the cost of acquisition and the converging prices between gasoline and diesel fuel prices. And going forward, you are right, CAFE diesel is positive, but CAFE has got different stages. So going forward, there will be a time when diesel also will not be CAFE positive. So there are, as you rightly pointed out, a mix of technologies which will help companies to achieve their emission targets, which includes CNG, biogas, flexi fuel, the hybrids, and of course the EVs.
It's been quite a while that Maruti Suzuki stopped manufacturing diesel engines post the nationwide rollout of the BS6 emission norms, given that smaller capacity diesel engines were not cost effective, and since then hybrid and CNG have been the major substitutes of diesel in Maruti's engine portfolio.
So it's been 3 years we are out of diesel. We went into CNG, which is much cleaner fuel. And CNG today, we have 25% of our sales is CNG. Industry sale of CNG is about 14%. Maruti Suzuki's market share in CNG is more than 75%. So CNG is an important part. Hybrid, as you rightly pointed out, we have started hybrid sale with the Grand Vitara and the Invicto. And today the industry sale of hybrid is roughly 1.9%, whereas for EVs is about 2.4%.
Well, after the company took the wraps off its EVX electric SUV concept at the Auto Expo this year, it's been no secret that the company will launch its first ever electric vehicle in India next year. So by 2030, EVs, hybrids and CNG will have a major share in Maruti's product lineup alongside petrol cars.
Maruti will be bringing in the EV, as we have already announced. Next financial year, we will be having EV in the mid SUV segment. We displayed the vehicle in the Auto Expo this year, and we are currently making preparations for launching the EV. By the way, by 2030, our powertrain portfolio would be something like 15% EV, 25% hybrid, and 60% will be a combination of CNG, biogas, flex fuel, and gasoline.
Not only Maruti Suzuki but other global car makers too have concurred with the minister's vision on future mobility fuels and are already working in the direction. Here's what Kunal Behel, Vice President Honda Cars India, has to say.
I think the message which the Honourable Minister gave today was basically that India has to move towards cleaner fuel. It's not about having taxes on one particular powertrain. What he actually meant was that one has to progress towards more sustainable and cleaner fuel, which is actually in the favour of the Indian society. And, India is quite growing. It's matching towards the pace of the global market. We're already third largest, players as far as automobile industry is concerned. So yes, the strategy is quite similar to what we are doing globally. As I said, first we'll launch the hybrid here. Second is going to be electric, and of course then we'll have three powertrains available for the customers. One is the hybrid, one is the electric, and then of course we have the petrol. That is how the current game plan is. Yes, in future we will like to see what we can get into the market as far as fuel cell is concerned, or what we think for the future in India. But as of now, we are going to come with the three things. One is the electric, second is the hybrid, and third is the petrol.
On the other hand, while car makers like Kia India and Tata Motors agree that market of diesel passenger vehicles is likely to shrink going forward, there will be a section of buyers still willing to go with diesel cars, especially in the higher segments and luxury car market. And there will be few companies that will continue offering diesel models alongside petrol, hybrids, EVs and other cleaner fuels. The focus very clearly is on alternative fuel and greener technologies, and the government has made it clear that the diesel technology will be penalized to an extent, with the 10% pollution cess being proposed. But anyway, we need to see that how automakers and the industry is going to comply with all that change in the dynamics. So stay tuned for all that update in the Indian Car Bazaar and keep following Park Plus.